Caroline Leavitt, who is doing a phenomenal job as the press secretary, just calling everyone out left and right, was asked about whether or not there would be protests on Saturday allowed in D.C. And you know what? She's like, hello, we have a First Amendment. We allow for peaceful protests. What we don't allow for is some of the stuff you've been seeing in California, right? We don't allow for that because then that's tearing in a really dark corner. But of course, you can have peaceful protests, for goodness sakes. What a stupid question. That's what I'm thinking. And she said it.
Thanks so much, Caroline. The president warned that any protests on Saturday would be met with force. Can you clarify what kind of protest President Trump does support or find acceptable?
The president absolutely supports peaceful protests. He supports the First Amendment. He supports the right of Americans to make their voices heard. He does not support violence of any kind. He does not support assaulting law enforcement officers who are simply trying to do their job. It's very clear for the president what he supports and what he does not. Unfortunately for Democrats, that line has not been made clear, and they've allowed this unrest and this violence to continue, and the president has had to step in.
One question. So if there were peaceful protests on Saturday for the militant parade, President Trump would allow that?
Of course the president supports peaceful protests. What a stupid question. Raquel.
Thank you so much, Caroline.
Of course he supports peaceful protests. What a stupid question. I said dumb question. She said stupid question. What a stupid question. So that's kind of gone viral. But you know what? She ought to be able to say exactly what she thinks up there. She's had all kinds of run-ins. Finally, they just got rid of AP. AP thought it had some kind of, talking about being a king, right? It's like your royalty if you're AP. AP thought it had the status and the stature and, I don't know, maybe the royal genes to be able to sit up there in the front row in the White House press briefing room at all times and travel on Air Force One and this, that, and the other. Trump and Caroline kicked him out. Guess what? Oh, and that was because of the Gulf of America thing. Remember, they refused to call it Gulf of America and instead kept going with Gulf of Mexico, and it became kind of this standoff. And they're like, you know what? We don't need you here. Bye-bye. And poor AP's like, no, you can't do that to us, you see, because we are Associated Press. It's like they're the king of England, for goodness sakes. And so the administration came back and said, no, we can absolutely, you're here at the pleasure of the president, and we don't really want you here. This has nothing to do with freedom of the press, because guess what? We broadcast these things out to everyone every single day. You can just go on the White House Twitter feed. You're going to get it. And we'll take all your questions. You can email us a question. Hey, you can even put one of your questions on X. We'll probably answer it. The president will talk to anyone. So guess what? You're not entitled to sit out there in the front row anymore, AP. You're not entitled to come on our Air Force One in the press pool. We're kicking you out. And the whole thing went up through the courts, and guess what? The court decided that the president did not have to have AP there. So take that, AP, no kings. There is no king AP or prince AP or princess AP. None whatsoever. We got some more good media stories to get to. Terry. Terry's out doing his whole new thing. I think he kind of wanted to go out with a bang. Apparently his contract was up anyway. We'll get to that. Ooh, Disney's in more trouble. But before I get to that, and everybody's looking alike at MSNBC. I think they're really nervous on ratings. They're like, we need clones of Rachel. Can somebody get me more Rachels? Fox has their thing with the blondes. They're like, we want more Rachel. I'm just going to tell you guys. I would pick the Fox route before I'd pick the Rachel. Right? Guys like to look at attractive women, and women actually like to look at attractive women. So I don't think replicating clones of Rachel Maddow is going to do it for you, but you do you. We're going to get into that. Meantime, Balance of Nature. Stay healthy, take your vitamins, get all the good stuff from Balance of Nature. I do. You can get 35% off with my coupon code TRISH. One of the proud sponsors of the Trish Regan Show, and we love them for all their support. You can call Trish, you can call them, and use my name, code Trish, at 1-800-246-8751, 1-800-246-8751. They get all kinds of great stuff, thousands of testimonials actually on their website. So you should check that out. They have 35% off with my code. They have free shipping with my code, and you know what else they have? Money back guarantee with the code. So use the code, go to balanceofnature.com, check them out, or just call them 1-800-246-8751. Great great product. And I'm not the only one who says it. People love this stuff. So stay healthy. Drink your water, get your exercise, eat right, and take your balance in nature.